Hello, this is Diane with the retirement video broadcast. It's not a knitting podcast. It's not a regular vlog where I show you my everyday things. It's just a retirement video broadcast, which is a person who has retired, who is trying to organize a retirement life into being somewhat productive, I guess. So, I haven't been here for a while. I'm downstairs in my workroom. Oh, I was going to say podcasting, broadcasting, vlogging. Vlogging from here. Where have I been and what have I been doing? Well, we've had some issues with the pets. We've had some issues, some family things going on that have been sad, and I haven't had an opportunity to broadcast. So here I am back. Another thing that's part of my retirement activities is I have been trying to clean things. And right outside you can see this door. I have a door. That's the door to my workroom. And outside the door is, I say in air quotes, which you can't see me doing, my laundry room, which was really, really bad. But, oh yeah, this is better. This is like a great improvement. This is my laundry room today. I cleaned up the walls and the sink. Oh my goodness, this was like the utility sink where it's an old-fashioned kind of a big porcelain sink, and it was so full of paint and things. And you can still see that that's still kind of full of paint. I tried to talk my husband into working with me to put in a new faucet because these faucets are really nifty. They're very unique. Watch me to switch backwards to turn the water on, which is all well and good. At least it works. But then when you go to turn it off, you forget and you think this is going to turn it off, and it splashes you. So the handles are backward. I don't know why, but I got the sink all cleaned up. All the paint is gone. I have these old-fashioned tiles that were just so bad. And in that other room is another room that adjoins this. Someone had spilled a gallon. Yes, no, 5-gallon tin of varnish. Something god-awful. Oh my goodness. I had to scrape and scrape and scrape, but it's all, I got this new steamer. And look at, the floor's nice. And there's a little bathroom here that doesn't have a sink. It just has a shower. Well, it has a clawfoot tub. Has a clawfoot tub and a, you know, one of those kind of round the thing shower, and a toilet. And no sink. But, so you have to use the sink out here. But I'm thinking this would be a really nice setup for if people want to come over and sew. I have plenty of sewing space. As a matter of fact, I even have a makeshift. Oh, look at this. Before I talk about that, I found my old. These are Peter Max. See that? Peter Max book covers that I bought at a yard sale. Oh my goodness. In the mid-80s maybe, and they were old then. How cool. And there are two others, so that's a thing. That shelf is something my husband built, I think, and he wants it, so he's going to take it off the wall. And then I think I'm going to put up my 4 Peter Max posters. Well, anyway, this little cutout place is a place to put in a sewing machine, and then this folds out, and these little door things act as legs, and you can sew here. So I even have a space. Somebody'd be out in the boondocks, but I mean, there's even an extra space for a sewing machine here. And it's got these little cute little drawers on the side, which I've cleaned out all the drawers for all these insides and put in my shelf paper. So I've been very busy, which is why I haven't broadcast things that have been going on in my retirement. But I'm here now to talk about knitting. It's not a knitting podcast, but I want to talk about probably the main thing I want to talk about is the Knitcrate. I'm in my 2nd month of Knitcrate, and I'm going to talk to you about that. So let me go gather up those things, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So it's been some time since I did my last vlog, so let's talk about what I might have finished. Haven't finished a lot. One thing I did finish were a couple of little cotton hats, little baby sunbonnet hats made of cotton. I got the cotton at Hobby Lobby. It's actually quite soft, so I bought like a variegated and a coordinating color so that I could do the little crocheted flowers on the hats. They're a little different. I was at Savers and I got like a 1990 copy of some knitting magazine, which gave me, is this it? Yeah, Breath of Spring baby hat. This was the pattern. It came from loveofknitting.com. I don't remember what year. Let me show you a picture of it. So these were the hats in that pattern. If anyone's interested, just email me and I can send you more information on it, because it's a very tiny pattern right there. So you cast on, and when you're casting on the picot edge. Kind of cute. That was one of them. And then the other hat, the smaller one, because I was like, I don't know. I thought my gauge was right, but this looks like a big hat. I mean, it doesn't fit me, but I think this is the 1 year to 18 months or something, because I made this for a specific baby that I haven't met. And she was born last fall, so I'm hoping this will fit her for the summer. But if not, I made a smaller one for now in case my gauge was really off. And the one that I used here, this is a little bit different pattern. It's called Spur of the Moment Baby Hat, also known as Ruffled Baby Hat, by Little Sesame Knits. I found it. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. There's a picture of it. Can you see the name? Okay. So we'll see. If they don't fit, they don't fit. That is one project that was completed. The other project that I completed, I do not have, I was going to say hard copy. I do not have the actual object, but I do have a picture that I can insert here in the video, but I wanted to show you a pattern. Here it is. I think this is it. Yes! Rhinebeck is calling Fingerless Mitts. They're by Kay Litton. She's the Crazy Sock Lady. Crazy Sock Lady Designs. This is the pattern on Ravelry. I love knitting these. I didn't knit it in the fiber that was recommended. I knit it in a big box store, knits a Vanna. Here it is. This was for my daughter. Know your audience, right? My daughter's in her 30s and her birthday was March 13th, so I made this for my daughter. And I used this Vanna's Glamour collection, a Lion brand yarn. It's what they consider a fine yarn. It's got that too. Here's what it looks like. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Can you see it? I don't know. There we go. So it had that cool bling. She liked them. She liked them a lot. It was nice to knit. The bling helped out. It wasn't, I was able to knit them at night even, so that was a good thing. So I hopefully inserted the picture of this. They're great. I love them. I would like a pair. I'll probably knit a pair for myself. That's the plan anyway. We'll see. Okay, those are the only two things I finished in the last month, I believe. So I'll go on to things that are on my needles. This is a pair of socks that I intend for someone soon for their birthday. And one sock is done. Oh wait, this is the, do I have a completed sock? I think I do. Peyton's Cadet. Peyton's sock yarns, and I guess they call it the, I thought it was Patton's, but I've been hearing people call it Peyton's. FX. It's the FX. FX. And the colorway is Cadet Colors. I love this. I think this is going to look great with jeans. So I have one finished sock here. It's still, I haven't made a heck of a lot. I'm a new, kind of a new knitter, especially new for socks. It was top down knit picks, go your own way socks. It's the one I'm always talking about every time I do a video, because I had success with this, so I keep going with it. Top down socks. Well, top down socks is the one that I use in the go your own way socks knit picks. They have an extremely good video that shows, it gets you through every step. Is that a pun? Socks every step of the way? Well, it is. It's socks. Sock instructions for every step of the way. I love this color. Look at that. I love that. Perfect for jeans. Alright, now here's what's funny about this. Here's my second sock. Yeah, still connected to the ball. But here's the second sock. How close to finish can that be? I'm down to, oh I know, it's the Kirchner stitch. That's all I have to do to finish it. So I know it's only going to take like 2 minutes to finish it, then tie in the ends, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But this is a gift for May. We're in April, so I know I'm going to finish this like ASAP and make a card and get it off for a birthday gift. Okay, that's that pair. Almost done, but not quite. So far, since I've started this knitting journey, I think I really like the socks the best. Okay, those socks. I have another pair of socks I'm working on. Let me show you this bowl. I don't remember if I've shown you this bowl on a different podcast, but keep holding things up. This is from, I think I did, Edible Arrangements. Edible Arrangements, they send you this with fruit in it. The kids sent this to me. Well, what I've been doing with this, I like to knit socks on a 9-inch circular needle. That's what I've got going on here. And so when you've got that going, you can just squeeze it right through. You can squeeze it right through the handle, and you can have one ball on this side, because what I've been doing is 2 socks at a time. Sometimes they're on the 9-inch circular and sometimes they're on the double points. Depends on where I'm at the sock. Here I am, I'm getting ready to do the heel flap. That's what I do, top down heel flap, although this time I did do, I'm getting a little adventurous. I did a longer cuff. I don't know who these are for yet. I have to make up my mind soon because I'm going into the foot section. Gotta know how long to make the foot. So, yeah. So, if you have a bowl that has 2 handles like this, it's perfect for putting in 2 balls of yarn. Because this was yarn that is on Carlos Regia. It's called Perfect. I think this has been in the store a long time. I just bought this last week and the label was all beat up like this. And there's nice instruction on the inside that shows you how to start. It starts with this yellow yarn, and you pull a yellow out, and then you start knitting, top or toe up or bottom top down, whichever way, and then when you get to the middle of the ball you'll get the yellow yarn again, and that's, so start it in the same way. What I tried to do was to ensure that I identical twins and not fraternal twins. I kind of did that. I think they're pretty even. So this is great. I love self-striping socks. And these are my little stitch markers that I make myself from charms that I buy at Michael's. I think they're pretty cute. And I like them because they're small and they fit on the small needles. Alright, so that's another work in progress. Let's see what else I have. I do want to, oh, here's something. I started this hat in Knitcrate's black yarn that I had ordered. I ordered this black yarn from my daughter's fingerless mitts. The Rhinebeck is calling mitts. And I started with those mitts in this Knitcrate's yarn that is called, well anyway, it was black, but it's a tonal. And I know what tonal means, but I didn't think about it. So I bought this black yarn, and I said, I don't want her mitts to be tonal. So I gave up on that. So then I got this, because I joined Knitcrate, I think is why, they sent, yeah, this Hannah Thiessen. No, maybe not. I'm not sure if that's the girl that keeps emailing us when there are mistakes in the Knitcrate patterns. It's someone named Hannah. Well, they sent this pattern after the first Knitcrate, and the name of this hat is Undulation Adoration. Cute. Well, so I used the black and started the tonal. Well, it looks like I left the yarn in the sun or something, because I wasn't getting a good streaky look. I was just getting uh-oh, it looks like the yarn is defective look for this particular pattern. So I was at a yarn store the other day and I bought this cool yarn, but I'm afraid that once I start the stitch work, the lace is probably not going to show with this, so I haven't done a lot of work on this. But this is Undulation Adoration, a pattern by Hannah Thiessen. I don't know why I think she is. Oh, and it's in chart and written directions in case you like to follow the chart. I've been trying to learn that. I don't know where I got it, but it was in my email. So that's another work in progress. Alright, I'm going to talk about two more things. One thing that's kind of exciting is this. I went to, if you saw my previous videos, I had a video in January about the knitters. There's a knitters weekend that's held in Rhode Island at this old Slater Mill in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And I went to that event, and it was really cool. It was the one where I only showed you a few machines, and then I was afraid to talk to people, so I didn't really introduce myself and talk to people and put them on the video. I don't know, I always think I'm going to be putting people on the spot. Well, at that knitters event, let me get this, I met some people from the Hook and Needle. It's a knitting guild of Rhode Island. Yep, Hook and Needle Guild of Rhode Island. And here's their cool logo. So that was in January, and it was a little pamphlet, and it had the list of their meetings. And with all, that was January. I missed the January meeting because you can just go and join. You know, pay your dues, your membership for a year, and join. So I didn't get to go in January because I think that the yarn event was after their January, the date of their January meeting. And February was difficult. It was a field trip to see an industrial knitting machine in action. However, I didn't make it to that. I believe it was one of our February snowstorm days, of which we had so many. This is April, today is April 9th, 10th, 11th, 2018. It's a Wednesday. We've been notorious. We've been notorious. These snowstorms have been happening almost every Tuesday or Wednesday each week, but we don't have any snow today. It's nice out today. So I did make it to the March 28th Cables Without Needles meeting. Cables Without Needles was the subject of the meeting, and it was so great. They're a great group. They meet in the Slater Mill building on the second floor. So I went to that. I met a lot of nice people, such knowledgeable people, and one of the members, her name is Kimberly Townsend. Kimberly Townsend had just returned from the Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So she had some great stories about that, which I had seen most of the podcasts, well, not most, but I saw very many podcasts about the Edinburgh Yarn Festival. And anyway, Kimberly was back from the festival only a week, and she did a really nice program for us, how to cable without a cable needle. She had a great slideshow. This was it. Handouts, again with their great logo. And also, she brought along a pattern for us, which she got on Ravelry by Rachel Plafchan. It's Plafchan, 2015. It's called the Alpine Headband. And she showed us how to knit it without using a cable needle, which I'm still pretty new to knitting, but I enjoyed the fact that it was great to have a program like that. I can't wait for next month. So what I did when I wasn't even prepared for the meeting because they didn't know I was coming. I was a new person just dropping in, but someone was kind enough to lend me some yarn, and someone else lent me some needles, and so I practiced it while I was there at the meeting. But when I went home, I took some of my Lion brand fisherman's wool. I think they wanted to use worsted. This might be considered a little bit bigger than worsted. Where's that little number that they assigned? Oh no, it says medium 4. So I used this, I made my couple of pairs of fingerless mitts out of this. Always trying to use up the leftover yarn, right? Well, how exciting. I didn't do real great. This whole thing isn't perfect, but I haven't worked on it in a few days either, but let me show you these wonderful cables without using a cable needle. See, it would be a headband, Alpine. And it entails pulling, many of you are knitted, so you probably already know this technique. You knit, and then when it's time for the cable that you either have to put in the front or the back, you bring your yarn in front, knit past these stitches, hold them all up, and then switch them over. I mean, it's really pretty cool. Very fun. So that was what was exciting for me last month, was to go to the yarn night, the knitting. Oh, and it starts a little earlier than the meeting, and you get to do some sitting and knitting before it starts, and there are refreshments. It's just the best. It's just the best. So I can't wait to be more involved in the guild. Okay, I'll show you one more thing that I'm working on, then I want to get to Knitcrate. This is a sewing thing. Do I have other sewing things? I probably have other sewing things, but I'm not going to get to that. I want to make project bags, of course. I've been wanting to make project bags. Let me see if I can scoot this over to where my project bag stash is. Let me just show you this. Can I show you? Yeah, see all the fabric on that ironing space? Look at this. This will be a sock project bag. Lighting's probably bad because I'm putting the camera down. Sock bag. Here's a pair of Harry Potter bag. Ooh, let's see what else. Oh, there's some Kate Facet stuff. Here's matching. This is nice for spring. My favorite things. I think this is a Henry Glass. My favorite things. And this one is my favorite things. A different pattern, but let me just show you. Here's the pinky one. And here's, I love pink and green. As you can see, this shows you jeans and butterflies fluttering. I can't wait to do this. Well, anyway, crayons, Crayola fabric. This would be more of a winter bag. And I have a coordinating fabric that goes with that. I have so many plans with all this fabric. Anyway, let's get back to where I was, over here, and show you what's actually going on. I've actually put together most of this bag, which, believe it or not, I have had the pattern for this bag since 2015. I didn't think it was, I thought it was a year ago, but I hadn't been doing a lot of my sewing. And the name, I've probably even shown this before, the name of it is Woolly Woolly. It's a commercial pattern that you can buy at the, like a quilt shop or something. It's by Brenda Miller. Very cute. It's in 2 coordinating colors, and down here you have a zipper pocket with a vinyl top so that you can look inside and see what's in the pockets. So many of you are probably familiar with this knit and purl fabric. So here's the bag in progress. Here's the pocket. I have the pockets made. The zippers installed. Here's the vinyl pocket. And I have the stuff. I've got the batting in it. This thing has been very, very long in the making. Oh, I have this little channel up here, the fabric that's going to hold the drawstring. It's not gonna. This one's not going to have a zipper. It's going to have a drawstring. Well, here it is. Here's the other clear pocket. Here it all is. I might finish this today if I can get myself down here to do this. But what I really wanted to talk about was the April 2018 Knitcrate offer package. Here's the deal. Hopefully this isn't going to be a spoiler for anyone. I've had this for a while, so I think anybody who has subscribed to Knitcrate has gotten their April one in the mail yet. If you have it and you haven't opened it or you haven't received it, stop right here. Spoiler alert, don't watch. But the 2018 April is the golden hour, and we have Ordine wools. Now it comes in 4 different colors, and of all the 4 colors, I kind of previewed it online. Of all the 4 colors, I got the color I did not want. One of the pattern, the knit pattern is Emily Johannes. Not Hansen, Hannes. It's a it's kind of like a shawl or a long scarf. I'm not sure what it is, but it's interesting. I kind of like the looks of it, but I got that color. I got that green color. I didn't want this color. Of all the colors, this was the color I said, please don't send me, because last month I got the color that I didn't want either. But you know what? It gets you out of your comfort zone. It gets you to experiment into using other colors that you might otherwise not select. And I have green eyes. So who knows? This might be. This is called Prickly Pear. The colorway is Prickly Pear. It's a DK 100% superwash merino. 236 yards, 100 grams, 4 ounces, and the suggested needle size is 5. So I started the pattern, and I wanted to share it to see if anyone is making it, and we can leave comments on the bottom to kind of help me out here. Here's what I've been doing. I don't know if you knit like this. Let me show you what I do. When I had to do section 1, section 1 was comprised of 16 rows that you had to repeat 5 times. So I write it all out, and as I do a row I cross it off so that way I don't get lost. So that was section 1. Then it was time to change to section 2, but I hadn't used up, as you can see, the yarn comes in 4 4 shades, I believe. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's only 3. I have a printout, but the big printout. Well, anyway, I thought maybe the shades change in the sections, because there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections, and with 4 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4 colors of the yarn, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go from the back of the skein and you do 4, 3, 2, 1, so that you have that, if you want it to be symmetrical. When I got to the section where it says start section 2, I hadn't finished the light green yarn yet, and I thought, well, that might be normal. So let me show you what I did. You can laugh. You can laugh at what I did. Does everyone have a project with the hanging ball of yarn? Don't you love it? Okay, I started the pattern, and I believe this is, this is the right side. Okay, so this is the right side, and I've started the pattern, and it's kind of cool. It's seed stitch, I think they call it, and oh, now the dogs are going to start barking. Well, anyway, I'm kind of liking it. The yarn feels fantastic. So what I did, here's what I did. When I got to the end of section 1 and it was time to start section 2, I just wound up the rest of the yarn. I didn't cut it in case I changed my mind, because I've quite a few times lost, even with all the writing down I do, I've lost track on this and I've restarted it. I restart often on almost all my projects. That's why it takes me so long to finish things. So I got this far, made this ball, and then just automatically took the second color, that's the next color that's going on here. So anyway, this, right now, from what I'm seeing here, it looks pretty true to color. I'm wondering if anyone else has had that issue, or am I knitting too small and I didn't use up enough of the light green yarn? Drop me a note in the comments if you've used this. There's my little, what I call my Gilmore Girls my dog is barking outside the door, and she's distracting me. I'm sorry, my brain isn't working right. It's not actually a Gilmore Girls stitch marker, not a stitch marker, a stitch. Now nothing's coming to me. I make these myself. I just found a charm that was a dragonfly, like the dragonfly inn, so I made it into this little, well, I make them as stitch markers, but they're kind of big for stitch markers, so I put them into a progress keeper. Yeah, progress keeper. So that's my dragonfly progress keeper, which I love. That's where I was last night, and I haven't had to pull anything out today, provided this is correct. I think I might get to the end of this and not have enough yarn to finish, because this says it takes the full 2 skeins to finish this project. So we'll see. So if anyone knows, Molly, be quiet. If anyone knows or has gotten this far, or maybe even a little further, let me know. I did get the emails alerts that said there was an issue, same as last month. There were issues in the pattern where there were typos. So people have gotten at least as far as section 3 in that shawl, because I had to reprint the pattern for this shawl. What she calls it? The name of it is Chloris. Chloris. I don't know if it's a shawl. The other offering that you could have made, they did have a blue. Isn't the blue just beautiful? Well, I wasn't lucky enough to get the blue, but that's okay. You get discounts with the Knitcrate. You can go online and buy the yarn at a discount, and then make the other offering. There's one knitted product and there's one crocheted product, and I really love to crochet. I've done more crocheting in my life. I've done tons of crocheting in my life as opposed to knitting. Knitting I'm still pretty green at. No, it's not a pun. Okay. So this is pretty, but I got an email just before I came downstairs today that said there was an error in this. it said to repeat row 53, but it was supposed to be 72 or vice versa. But that's, you know, I love it that they send the corrections early on because people are knitting the things, some people are knitting the things right away, and this way you have an opportunity to not get so far or get so confused that you can't continue the project. So that's about it for me for this month. Yeah, I just want to make a bunch of project bags because I have all these projects all over the place. I kind of keep it in a big bag and everything gets mixed up. I made this big bag. It's really, you don't want to do it that way. And patterns, I want to organize patterns more. So this whole retirement thing, retired in November. So November, December, January, February, March. Okay, 5 months and some days in. Great. I'm starting to get into retirement as a way of life. Retirement was something I didn't understand when I first retired. I didn't plan retiring as early as I did. I thought I was going further in the work world, but things happened. So it's time to get out. I got out, and I think I'm starting to get my act together to where I'm enjoying myself. I'm not feeling like I'm not contributing to society any longer because I do some things that are important along with my hobbies. And one of the things I always thought about in retirement, my house was going to be so wonderfully clean. I'm not there yet, but little by little, I clean one thing a day. It could be, I could tackle a room, which then that takes a week or 2 weeks. Because you don't only clean it, you rearrange, you go buy other things, you have to have your husband create something or cut something or fix a drawer. I mean, he's been wonderful. He helps me out all the time. There's some molding I need in the bathroom, the thing that's like a vanity, even though there's not a sink in there. The bathroom down here, he just cut the molding and painted it for me, so he'll be installing that. So that room will be done, and then I'll feel better about the bathroom downstairs. It'll be done the way I want it to be. But I mean, I either do one thing that takes weeks, or sometimes it's just rearranging just a small area, a windowsill, a cupboard, one cupboard. Yesterday I was going to make blueberry muffins, which I did, but in the making of and I tend to do a lot of things at once because I don't have anything pressing. I don't have anywhere pressing to go. So I was cooking some dog food. One of my dogs has an issue with bladder stones, and so I'm making food for her because she will not eat the prescription food. But that's another story. That's a story for another video. So I was making that and making soup and cooking some chicken in the oven. I said, oh, I should make some muffins because I had a lot of blueberries. So I started to make the blueberry muffins, and I have a Lazy Susan right under the counter near the stove, and that's where I keep all my baking supplies. Well, that Lazy Susan could have used some cleaning and organizing. I pulled everything out of the Lazy Susan, washed down the floor in the cupboard, washed it's a 2-shelf, washed down all the shelves, cleaned it, vacuumed it, everything was nice and clean. Figured out what I had there that didn't belong there, so organized it a bit, and just made it a baking supplies area and stuck everything back in. Got a lot more room. I know exactly what I have, what I needed, and I went to Walmart today, so in my shopping I kind of restocked like cupcake papers, brown sugar, stuff like that. So it's one thing every day, and I also try to fill up one bag a week of items or clothing that can go out to Goodwill because I don't need a lot of the stuff I have anymore. And the fewer things you have, the less things you have to take care of, the more space you have. It clears your head. It's just really a good thing to do. So one bag a week to Goodwill and clean one item a day, and then maybe things will get to be where I want them to be. You know, the house will be easier to clean, quicker to just go through and clean everything. So retirement, it's fun. It's fun. There's just so much. It's just so much every day that you can do. But then, and the other thing about it is you're kind of like on call for people who know you're home. Oh, are you home? Can you do this for me? Can you help me? And that's what I'm happy about. I'm happy that I can do that. So there's a lot of unexpected that's good for me too, because I'm not a scheduled person. I don't want to get up and have the exact same schedule every day. That's too much like work. So I get up when I get up, and I do what I do as I feel like doing it. It's working out pretty well. So thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging in with me all this time. If anybody has any tips about this month's Knit Crate, let me know. Thank you, and bye now.